A story of two halves. This innings, a lot like the weather in the UK. Sunny one moment and then overcast another. They were 90 for 3 at the 10-over mark, and then they finished with 152. You're watching Cricbuzz live. Here's what happened. Scotland were put into bat first. Richie Berrington was happy to bat first, and he was going really well with his partner. 71-run partnership between him and Tom Bruce there. Michael Jones started really well, but neither of the top-order batters went on to play till the end. 3 for Adil Rashid, 2 for Jofra Archer, 2 for Dawson as well, 5 to the spinners, 5 to the pacers, and 152 only on the board. Another example of how this format can flatter us and deceive us and make all our predictions look stupid. Only 152. Did you imagine they would finish at 152?
It's a tough one for me to digest for the moment, but yeah, they have only ended up doing it. I really thought at the end of 10 they'll get close to 175.
Yeah.
But clearly...
They were 90
in 10.
Just felt like they were going on a good clip. They were playing the spinners well. And then one wicket of Berrington and things changed so quickly. Bruce obviously had a nice partnership with him, and that's when you felt, okay, maybe that's possible on the cards.
Yeah.
But clearly England's experience coming to the fore and some inexperience of Scotland showing as well.
Up and down this innings. They lost 3 wickets in the power play, and then that phase between 7 and 10 was pretty good for them, 48, and then they just seemed to lose their way at the halfway mark. Start of the 11th over, it was just like someone just plugged it off.
Yeah, actually, it's not even start of the 11th over. This actually starts in the 13th over. 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 4 overs. Both these spinners have been smashed, okay? Adil Rashid has gone for 2 for 22 or 2 for 26. And I think Liam Dawson has gone 2 for 22. One has gone 2 for 22, sorry, none for 22 and 1 for 26 in 2 overs.
Yep.
The next 4 overs that they bowl, they get 5 wickets. Between 13, 14, 15 and 16, there's a wicket in the 13th, wicket in the 14th, wicket in the 15th, 2 wickets in the 16th. Adil Rashid comes and gets 2 wickets and it's over.
Yeah.
And I think that is the game. That is the inexperience, because once Berrington gets out, and Berrington is the only one you can turn around and say that LBW, it had the umpire called, it was an umpire's call finally. Okay, so that could have gone either way. Yeah. Okay, but other than that, I thought it was really the rest of the batters just let the team down.
Another, perhaps the lesson for younger players is that this format is not all just slam bang. You need a bit of cricket intelligence to know what to do and when to change gears or not to change gears.
In generic terms, completely agreeable, but I don't think they got out because of lack of understanding how to play T20. They got out because of not understanding how to play spin. If you see the shots that they played to a Rashid or a Dawson at that stage, they were shots that fetched them runs, but also ended up being their downfall. So it's almost feels like that's the only shot that they're dependent on, the sweep shot and the way they could play off the back foot. It's not about just playing one shot. When you're up against somebody like Adil Rashid, he's too clever and too good for you to really dent him by having just one shot. You need to be able to play other shots as well on both sides of the pitch. That's when he feels, okay, now what do I do? If you don't take him to that stage, then you will see what happened, like what Joyda said, 5 wickets in about 4 overs.
Yeah. Now look at Michael Jones again. Okay, Sam Curran is coming. You smashed him for 14 runs in the first 3 balls. And then again you go for a shot and you just, don't pick the slow ball, you get yourself out. He'll be kicking himself because I'm not a believer now in the fact that, okay, you've hit a 6 for over, you don't need to hit anymore. But the truth of it is that he was in control, and both of them were completely in control. When he gets out, because they were 28 for 2, he gets 14 in that over. Okay, this is the 6th over, then gets out. Every time it looks as if they're going to make a rush for it. 4 great overs after that, 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And then every time they think that they're set now, they're going to go for a really big total. That's when they sort of...
The best passage of play for the Scots was the one between the 6th and the 13th. Michael Jones got out in the 6th. And then in the 13th, you saw Tom Bruce get out. Between those 2 dismissals, we saw perhaps the most entertaining, enterprising, attacking brand of batting between Tom Bruce and the captain Richie Berrington, 71 or 41. And at that stage, we thought, wow, they have answers to everything England are throwing at them, barring Jofra Archer.
Yeah, Jofra bowled beautifully, but this partnership was very good in terms of the skill that they showed.
Yeah.
They took on the pacers, they also took on the spinners, and they were looking very good till the wicket fell, and then things changed on its head. From 113 for 3 to get to 127 for 8 tells you just purely either the pitch was playing a lot of tricks, which it didn't from whatever we saw. Clearly, it just shows a little bit of lack of skill playing those high-quality spinners.
The Pacers hadn't really had a good outing so far in the World Cup, and I suppose Overton was bowling express. Jofra Archer was bowling rockets as well. Perhaps smarting from the fact that they hadn't really had two good games so far, and they came in bowled with a lot of intent.
I think they bowled with intent, but for me, actually, even more impressive is what the spinners did, because you've got smashed in the beginning. You've both gone for so many runs in the first few overs. You've gone for a total of 46 runs in your first 4 overs, the two of you. From there to come back and get the analysis they did, Adil Rashid, that means in his remaining overs, basically 2 overs gets 12 for 3 wickets. And Dawson also comes back very strongly.
Yeah.
So I think that is a really, really strong sign for them, because their bowlers have come to the party. Bowlers even, and when bowlers come to the party after having been hit, that's even sweeter for them.
Yeah, Adil Rashid as well didn't really start off too well, got hit for a few runs, and DK, and just the way he came back, another proof of the fact that he's pedigreed, he's proven. Great players, or quality players rather, know how to make a comeback, and that's exactly what Adil Rashid did today.
Extremely true. Just the fact that he was taken down initially would have been a surprise, but then the way he's come back. And interestingly now in this tournament so far, he's played 3 matches. And both the times that he's gone for runs are against associate nations, Nepal and them. Bowled wonderfully well against West Indies. So he also, so the full nation team could be looking at him slightly differently. Let's play him off, let's look to hit the others, things like that. With the associate nation, I don't think they're thinking that far. They're just saying, okay, let's play what's in front of us. So it's a very interesting case study, so to say. But for the moment, it tells you the attitude of the man to get hit for 20 plus runs and then come back with an attitude to pick up wickets instead of being defensive is what sets him apart.
Give us a sense of what the bowling captain or the bowling group does when you know you've conceded 90 in the first 10. Is a message sent across during the drinks break? What would the conversation have been if you were in the dugout for England?
So if you see how England went about it, they went for 90. And then they realized, okay, they're taking on the spinners. They brought back the pacers, which was an over of Overton and an over of Sam Curran.
Yeah.
And then they had nowhere to go. They had to bring back the spinners because they only bowled five bowlers. They couldn't go to an off spinner because they felt right-handers, they'll probably take him down. So there was not too much thinking to do other than give the ball, set a field which could be slightly difficult, and ask the bowler what is he planning to do. That's about it. Because you're almost helpless at that situation. You gave it back to them, but they delivered. Now things look much better.
You would have seen a lot of games turn like this, sitting in the dugout for KKR. You start off really well and suddenly, things change in a matter of an over or two.
Absolutely. And he's absolutely right. They had nowhere to go because they can't give it to Will Jacks. Okay, they have the only other left-arm spinner is Bethel.
Yeah.
So Bethel and Dawson, they'd prefer to give it to Dawson.
Archer had only one left because he bowled 3 in the power play.
So those are your 3 frontline fast bowlers. If Curran is going to bowl 4, those are 12 overs from there. So they had to get 8 overs out of spin. So they had to bring him back, and he's right. They managed to give a break, but when they came back, 13, 14, 15, 16, they just took wickets. And that was the game.
What do you make of the outfield? Did it look slower than usual for you?
No, it looked sandy. When the ball bounced, it almost plonked into the ground and bounced. It wasn't the usual billiard top kind of feel that Calcutta generally gives. It almost just hits the turf and skids away.
Yeah.
So that's what I felt.
Right, 153 to chase should be gettable on most days for England, but they'll do well to not panic, and they shouldn't want to finish this in 12 overs.
No, I don't think they're looking at any of that. They're looking at winning the game. And look, the way... see, again, we are talking about very experienced international team. Phil Salt will take every ball on its merits and he'll do whatever is required to be done. Josh Butler is probably one of the greatest T20 cricketers ever.
Yeah.
So I think as the game unfolds, and if they're off to a rocket of a start, they're 60, 70 odd, they'll go for it.
Is there a case, since the total isn't too big, is there a case to get Harry Brook to come in at 4 for Tom Banton, who has had a poor World Cup so far?
I'll be very surprised if they do that, purely because Banton needs runs as well.
Exactly.
He's done well in bilateral.
Yeah.
Now it's his time to do well in a World Cup game. And they'll be trying to make sure that the same set of batters keep going in similar situations. That gives them the best chance of success in a long tournament like the World Cup.
Let's take a look at the Scotland 11. The 2 spinners who could perhaps pose a threat or not. We'll get our experts to weigh in on that. Leask, and what if the English spinners can do well? Is there a lesson for the Scottish captain? How does he go about using his resources today? Perhaps use a lot of spin in the early overs?
Yes. They can definitely try and use Mark Watt to see how he goes in the power play. 2 right-handers in the crease, but both good players of spin.
Yeah.
You or you're almost thinking, okay, there's a better chance I could pick up a wicket with the spinner than the pacer.
Yeah.
But other bowlers, it's very hard to bowl them in the power play. Maybe an over of least if Patel comes in, but they'll have to wait on that. So it's not that simple. They'll have to back their pacers to get them a couple of early wickets. Then the game changes for them.
Right, you predicted 171. Joy and I got lucky. 152. The two of us will have a better standing on that guessing game leaderboard, but a chance for you to redeem yourself, your predictions for the first six.
I really need to redeem myself. Right way to say it. I feel... I'm losing confidence, I must say. It's dented my confidence a bit. I'm trying to think. Joyda, you go first.
Okay. I'll say 67.
Ooh. Okay.
Very good score, I feel. I'll go 69. I'll stay very close to Joyda. He's on the money today.
I'll go easy breezy. 10 and over. Phil Salt in Kolkata. Strike rate of 180. Average 50. We're in for an absolute treat from Phil Salt. 153 for England to get their World Cup campaign back on track. Enjoy the start of this innings and join us on Cricbuzz Box after 10 overs. Bye-bye.